So I just want to say thank you for so many people that watch my videos. I sound kind of amazed because I really am. When I first started this, I had no idea. I just wanted to come on here, partly for my kids. You know, someday when I'm gone, they were like, my grandkids would say, well, what was Grammy really like? Well, let's just play one of her videos. Anyway, that was part of it. Hi friends, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, back for another video. And this is episode number...
Hello.
Hello, dear. The coffee man. Episode number?
I think it's 138.
Okay, that's what you think, then that's what it is.
Take it away.
Okay. All right, so welcome back. I think it's been about 3 weeks since I did a video. I was hoping to come back in February, but you know, life happens. So since my last video, I went to Greenville, South Carolina with my daughter and my granddaughter for a dance competition for my granddaughter. She dances competitively. And we spent a long weekend there, which was fun. And that's the home of Tara Sully Stitches, but she was gone that weekend. I don't think she left because she knew I was coming, but that's up for debate. So anyway, what else have I done? Gotten together with friends. I had some finishes. I had a couple fully finishes. It's just, you know, life. So I thought I'd show you what I've been stitching. Show you some of the things I got in the mail. I have not gotten my market orders yet, although one is out for delivery today. Maybe two, not sure. So that's exciting. So I'm going to start with Patriotic, because I think I told you, maybe I didn't, I don't know, sometimes I dream these things. Who knows? I was going to try to do a small Patriotic stitch every month, at least through July. So, not that I don't have a lot of smalls already that are Patriotic, but, you know, we always need more, right? So, for those of you who are not in the United States, this will probably not mean much, but this is what I've been stitching. So the first one that I showed you this last time, but I did get this fully finished. This is 1776. On my last video, I told, it was a freebie. Oh, I'm not sure who it was by. If you really want to know, I'll let you know. I kind of, as many of you know, I glue my trim on for the most part. I have stitch like ruche to pieces. That's probably why I don't ruche a lot, but anyway, but I kind of fought a lot with this pom-pom trim, so, but it's the look I wanted because it's vintage. So anyway, and this is what I put on the back, made in America. So that's one of my first ones I finished, and then fully finished. I had finished that before, but I fully finished. Then I also worked on this one, which is Faded Flag. by October House Fiber Arts. I always want to say October Fiber, but it's October House Fiber Arts. I did change the colors on this. It calls for old red paint. I changed that to Lancaster Red. Antique Rose, I changed to DMC 3378. And Dungaree, I changed to Gentle Art Freedom. Mainly because my colors were off. My Dungarees was kind of purpley. My old red paint was brown. But anyway, I finished that. And this is on 35 or 36 count Liberty Gathering Gray by R&R. And it's, so I'm not sure. I may do the linen on the back, or I may save the linen and just put a fabric on the back. I don't know. I didn't get to that being fully finished because I just didn't. The next one I finished stitching, but not fully finished. Oh, sorry, I didn't take this one out of the bag. This one is called My Home Sweet Home by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I think I've ordered all of her market releases. I think. At least 7 or 8 of them. Anyway, and here is my finish on this one. Home Sweet Home. This one I stitched on a piece of Barn Owl by Dixie Sampler. It was a kit. I got it from Country Sampler, and it came with vintage beeswax, but it was very, very dark. I love the fabric. I'll use it, but I decided to switch it out for something a little bit lighter. Home Sweet Home. No. Yes, My Home Sweet Home by Brenda Gervais. I did not get a chance to fully finish that, but when I do, there's a blue fabric that came with it in the kit, and I like that, so I will use that. But this is just kind of a neutral. I mean, it's called Barn Owl, but to me it's a tan. Looks gray when it's up against there, but it's really kind of tan. So I fully finished that. I finished that. So those were my 3, January, February, March. I went ahead and started on another one that's not really a small. I would like to, so this will be my April one. So if I don't get it done till mid-April, I'm fine with that. Again, this is another Brenda Gervais, and this one is called Liberty. This one came out last year or the year before. I can't remember. It says, Where Liberty Dwells, There Is My Country by Benjamin Franklin, a quote. And this one I'm doing, I think it's on the called for. It's on Tobias by Seraphim. So that's where I am on this one. Complete with a needle right in the middle of the, sorry about that. I know that freaks some people out. But this is one of the things I'm actively stitching, so there are some things I know. And I am going to finish my WIP parade today, so that'll be part, if I hopefully get to it. So this is Liberty by Brenda Gervais, and that's one that I'm working on. And then I have some former finishes, or finished a long time ago, that that need to be fully finished. And I'm kind of I'm never on a roll with fully finishing. It's not my favorite thing to do, even though I love to sew. I love to make quilts and all of that. It's just, to me, it's kind of tedious by the time you know. I use interfacing, and I'll talk about that a little more, and different, mostly I use sawdust, but I also use a little bit of stuffing, so it's just getting all that stuff out, and the sawdust makes a mess. And anyway.
Crushed walnut shells.
I have those too, crushed walnut nut. This is one I finished a while ago. This is Happy Birthday America, and yes, I know it still has a tie that goes around the neck of the bird, so This one you have to paint, and it makes like a birthday cake. So that one needs to be fully finished. This is one I finished, I think, last year. This is like Summer Mini Moon by Plum Street. So I'd like to fully finish that one. This is one I did a long time ago too. This is Sampler House by Plum Street. I think this is Sampler House 3. It's either 2 or 3. Now this one's almost big enough you could frame it. So I'm not sure what I'll do on that one. And then this is I think this is Brenda Gervais, Salute to America, I think is the name of it. And I have a board that Mike made me this is going to go on when I get it. So that one, I almost thought I was going to get this one done yesterday, but I didn't. So these are older finishes that I want to fully finish in the next few months. So we'll see if I stick to that. The next thing I want to talk about is, this goes with this one, is crackers, Stacy Nash crackers. And yes, I ordered all 4 of the new ones. I had not ordered what was the skunk? Sugar. I had not ordered sugar at Jingle Ball, so I went ahead and ordered. That's part of the 4 that I ordered from Market. So here's the ones that I have finished in this sweet little box. So this can be my picture for my YouTube. So let me go through each one of these. Now, I stuffed them. I sewed them a couple days ago. I stuffed them yesterday, but I have not. First of all, I haven't fully finished all of the extra pieces, but I will. So Christy Crosshatch Quilts, she showed one that I'm actually working on now, Harrison, and she had it all completely finished. That's this one, Harrison. This is an older one. And she had the little bag with the carrots. So this one I just have barely started. So that's Harrison. That's his ear. So that's one I'm currently working on. And then in these ones that I showed you, oh, and then this is going to be the next one after that, Humphrey. And I collected a lot of the threads. I have like, I don't know, 6 or 8 of them listed on the tag that these threads will be for these crackers. So I have more Harrison, Clovis. Clovis is finished. I want to do Jenny. I want to do Bobbin. And I want to do Harriet. And Harrison is the one I'm working on. So anyway, these are the threads for all of those crackers. So what did I get done this particular last couple weeks? Well, first of all, and I have it in this cute Antifact. I think this is Antifactum fabric. This is a Buckleberry Quilts bag, which are my very favorite. Love her bags. I love the weight of them. You know, some bags are really, I've had bags that are made with like Soft and Stable, which is a foam. They're a little too foamy. Then I've had ones that are just have batting in them and they're a little limp. And, you know, I sound like the 3 bears. One's too hard, one's too soft, and this one is just right. Actually, I sound like Goldilocks, not the 3 bears. Anyway, I just like the weight of these. They're nice. They don't get squished easy. Okay, so the first one I finished, and there again, you'll notice there's a pin in the bottom because I haven't sealed up stitch the bottom. This is Millie with her little hat. Is she not the cutest? Now, she actually has a little tree that you tie with a ribbon, and I don't have the tree, and the tree is on it's like a little bottle brush tree on a spool. And this is why I don't like PDFs. I don't have a color printer. So when I print something, plus it's less than great as far as the graph. So unless I go out to print it, which is kind of a pain. Once in a while, I'll have my daughter print something for me at her work. But anyway, that's Millie. See how... So here's the spool and then here's the little bottle brush tree. So that's her little accessory. So that's Millie. This one I stitched on a piece of orphan linen by Needle and Flax. It's just a nice light tan. Okay, let's ooh and ah because she's so cute. So cute. Okay. The next one, I don't know if I had this one stitched or not. See, I can't remember from my last video what I showed you what I did. But this is Maggie May. I don't think Millie has, some of them, you know, have a heart, a wool heart on the back to put scissors. I don't know if Maggie May does or not. But what Maggie May has, here she is again. I stitched all the called for. I know a lot of people have done some very, very cute renditions of Maggie May. I am going to put the little button here for her sweater, which I love the way that British people call them jumpers. A jumper to us is like a dress that doesn't have sleeves, kind of like the top is like an overall, or, you know, it's just, but it goes over a blouse or shirt. That's a jumper. But they call sweaters jumpers, which I love. I think that's so cool. Anyway, so she definitely has some more fully finishing. I need to finish up the bottom. I'm pretty sure she has a heart on the back, but I'm not totally, don't quote me on that. Yes, she does. I see the heart on the pattern now. And then she has this little needle book, which is a little radish. And I have stitched that. I think I showed you this one last time. If I did, I apologize. But she wasn't stuffed. Now she's stuffed. The next one I finished stitching. And she has quite a bit of finishing that I need to do. This is Clovis. She's one of the British ones. She's a badger. She's so cute. I mean, she reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire from the movie Mrs. Doubtfire. Her dress and her pinafore apron, I just love it. It's so cute. And so this one, I've already stitched the pieces. There's a teapot, a teacup. The teacup's upside down, sorry. Teacup, no, it isn't. Okay, teacup. And then the British flag. I may have already shown you this. If I did, I'm sorry. But anyway, she got stuffed. But she has a lot of finishing, fully finishing to do. And then there's Primrose, which I also had stitched last time. And Primrose also has carrots. And I have the goodies to make those. And this is Primrose. She's pretty tall. And she has this cute little ribbon. So I need to stitch her up and do all the extra stuff. I think oh, she has this little backpack. I forgot about that. You can kind of see it on the side here. She has a little backpack that her carrots are in. So, this is my cracker adventure that I'm on, and I just love them. I think they're so cute. So I would love to have all of them done. I don't know how realistic that is, but hey, why not, right? Okay, so then what else have I been stitching? Oh, I know, I wanted to show you this. So here's what I stuff with. First of all, I put interfacing, iron-on interfacing on the back of the stitched piece as well as on the back of the backing. And in most of these cases, the backing that I used was the same linen that I used for the front. I used to get this at Joann's, which now they're, so now I order it from 123 Stitch. It's a lightweight fusible interfacing, and here's the barcode if you're interested. Come on, focus. Well, it's not going to focus.
I'll just put a picture in.
It's P44F. And you can buy it by the yard. I usually buy like 3 yards when I add it to my 123 Stitch order. And then on pieces like, hand me the one that's on the very far end, this end. On ones like this, where you have these ears, but that's kind of hard to get your sawdust up in there and get it to lay nice. So these here, I use this cotton stuffing. And I know like some fiber fill, it's not cotton. This one is cotton, and evidently I really ripped into this bag. But this is called Sweet Dreams 100% cotton stuffing. And I do shred it, and then I put it in. So, and I have this long stuffing fork that's like it's made for dolls. These are all made for dolls, which I used to do years ago. Anyway, so that's the stuffing I use, and I think I ordered this on Amazon, but I've told you before, you can get a husband on Amazon if you need one, so.
Oh, I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Yeah.
I didn't say I was going to need a husband. I said a person could.
Do you have Prime?
Yeah, it's in my cart. A new husband's in my cart, so maybe you should be nervous.
Free shipping, huh?
Yeah, free shipping. Well, certainly not shipped by weight, that's for sure. Okay. Enough of the fun stuff. Now let's move on to some of the other things I've been stitching. So I've been working on that Liberty, and I'm going to show you these, show you my haul, which just is a few things because my market order hasn't come, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll do my WIP parade. Or maybe I'll show you these, then take a break. Whatever, we'll see. So one of the things that came out at market from Heartstring Samplery was a new giant piece. The first one she released was His Eyes on the Sparrow. The second one she released was well, I have it right here. What's the name of it? Consider the Lilies. Okay, so I would like to do all three, but I'm not going to get her start on the third one that she just released at market is All Things Wise and Wonderful. I love these. I love these. They're huge. I know. I don't care. I don't care. They're kind of like, well, first of all, I love those scriptures, but second of all, it's like, how wonderful to have all three of those in your house. You could have one in one room, you could have one in another room, or you could have them all three together, whatever. So this is Consider the Lilies. I have not started this. However, I've had it kitted, and I've had it kitted for quite a while. and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, I have it kitted with 40 count Heartland by Picture This Plus, and I've had this. This is an older piece of Heartland. It's a fat half. I think it actually calls for Winter Brew, which is darker. So I'm not 100% sure on the fabric. We'll see. But in order to start the second one and get the third one, I need to finish the first one, which is His Eyes on the Sparrow. So I decided every Sunday, and I know there's a couple people that do this. Olivia Pumpkin Hollow. We haven't heard from you for a while. Hope you're okay, Olivia. Thinking about you. I think, and then Michelle Cozy Egg are working on His Eyes on the Sparrow, I think on every Sunday. So I was working on it for a long time on every Sunday, and then I kind of got that debunked. Anyway, there's always squirrels, you know. So I pulled it out the other day on Sunday, and I thought, I'm going to work on this. Okay, so here are the threads. And there's some sort of connection with Beth Twist's Heartstring Samplery that has to do with 300 designs or 300, I think it's 300 designs. Every 300 designs, she does a big one of these. So this was the first one. So this is where I am on His Eyes on the Sparrow. Can you see that? I can't see what you see. I'm not able to say 3/4 done. Maybe I am. I don't know. I just have that other section to do. So when I picked it up the other day, this is what I got finished. And now I'm kind of into it, which always happens. So this is what I got done. I got this big tree and all these animals done. I worked on it for about a day and a half. All of that I got done. So I'm motivated now. This is also Heartland by Picture This Plus. This is a very, very gold compared to that other one. So I'm not sure about Consider the Lilies, what I'm going to stitch that on. We'll see. I have plenty of fabric. That's not a problem. Also, this is on 36, which has been one of the reasons that I've kind of like, because it's normally Picture This Plus is tight, but this for some reason was not one of the tighter ones. So it can be a little bit of a challenge. So anyway, a challenge meaning if I've been stitching on 46 and I switch back to 36, sometimes I will end up splitting the thread rather than getting both threads to make the X. Does that make sense? Anyway. And I don't know if I showed it, but those are in this cross stitch Nook bag. It's one of the bigger bags, so it handles more than one project. The only other thing I've been working on, and it's in this bag, also by Buckleberry Quilts. Beautiful bag. I think that's French General fabric, pretty sure. So I'm stitching this one on 46 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. Here's the called for colors, all overdyed cottons. Here's the chart. Whilst Ira Snaps, Mary Gypsum. I love this. Wait till you see this. It's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Now, I made a huge, and I'm going to be honest. Some of my friends are like, don't even mention that on your floss tube, but I'm going to be honest. I did a rookie mistake, and the houses and that whole section are up like 4 stitches, 3 or 4, I can't remember. So normally I'm kind of a take it out and fix it gal, but if you think I'm taking out all the grass, you're nuts. I'm not doing that. But fortunately, if you'll see, these things are not necessarily, I mean, they're symmetrical in that they're the same, you know, tree and tree, but they're not even with each other. Plus, there's a lot of space in this verse that I can tighten up. And the bottom here, there's space where I can move that, her name up a little bit. But when I say it was a rookie mistake, it's like, okay, have I forgotten how to count? I mean, this is counted cross stitch. So I decided I was just going to go back to practicing counting. So last week I've worked on counting one through 5. And I'm practicing, I think I've mastered 1 through 5. So next week I'm going to practice 6 through 10.
In what language?
English. If I master 6 through 10, the following week I'm going to put them together and do 1 through 10. Because for the most part, in cross stitch, if we can go to 10, we can usually get there. So I've gone back to remedial counting, and I'm working on the basics, counting 1 through 5 and 6 through 10 and 1 through 10. So on that note, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about that I started. I have no business starting a sampler, especially when you see my WIPs. But house rules. Unless he tells me not to start another sampler, which he's not going to do. So, anyway. Some of my friends are doing this with assignments. I'm not really good at assignments because then I tend to be like either stressed or behind, which causes me stress. But this was the Queen of the May, Elizabeth Stephenson. I love this piece. It is gorgeous. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous. There's no over 1. And I'm using the Avera Soie Sauvage silks. Even my friend Susanaki, who was like, she's stitched with silks, but not these. She's like, oh my gosh, those colors are gorgeous. I said, well, you could do it too. And this one is in a, pretty sure this is a Christie Crosshatch Quilts bag. I don't have very much done. I'm doing it on the Called For Just the Ticket by Tabby Cat. And I'm going to get back to this one for sure. Hold on here, I had a needle. But I did go all the way around with the border. So that part's finished. And then did my border match, sort of kind of. When I got to like here, I miscounted. So I got over here and I was like, oh, I'm off. But I was able to go back and it was just, you know, sometimes if I'm overly anxious to get to the end to see if it matches, I miscount. So there again, I'm going back and practicing my counting. Okay? If y'all want to join me, you're welcome to join me. 1 through 5, last week and this week, 6 through 10 next week. And then if we master those, we can go 1 through 10. Right? Okay. I'm going to show you a few things that I got in the mail. But like I said, my market order has not come. This is Scattered Seed. I love these clubs. Tammy Black does the most beautiful patterns, and she's been doing a lot of birds and nests and everything, and they're just gorgeous. Look at how this is packaged. It's DMC. I think it's vintage country mocha. You get a needle. You get everything you need to fully finish these. It's just fabulous. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, thank you. So go to Scattered Seed on Etsy. Scattered Seed Samplers. Tammy Black. You can also go to her Etsy and she'll have a link. I mean, go to her Instagram. She has a link to her Etsy shop. You pay for all, I think there's 3 this year. You pay for them all at once and then they just happily come in the mail. So thank you, Tammy. I appreciate your generosity on gifting me that. The next thing I got was the kit that was through the Homespun Needlework group. It's a Stacy Nash drum. It's called Little Pink House plus Pin Keep Drum. I love this. Stacy Nash does these fabulous borders. Look at how sweet that is. It's big. I think it's like a 7-inch. 7-inch drum. Love it. So I want to start this too, especially since it has the flag down here with the scissors. Love it. It's not a flag. It's like a ribbon cutting. And the bird also has some red, white, and blue ribbon. Love it. So this came as a kit. Like I said, it was through the Homespun Needlework Facebook group. It came from Acorns and Threads. There were some extra pins. It's complete. The linen is 40 count cocoa. I ordered the 40 count cocoa by Weeks, and it's the Zweigart. You can always tell if it's the Zweigart if it has that orange stripe. Love that. And then I ordered this from Country Sampler before Market. I just love this. This is by Screen Door Needleworks. I haven't done any of their designs. I've told you before, we have red, white, and blue in our bedroom. I have an eagle border in the bedroom. I have a lot of red, white, and blue quilts and patriotic stuff that stays up all year in the bedroom. So I can do this. I can display this year round, but I love that. Love that. The mixture of the eagle, which is kind of like strength, and then you have the softness of the flowers, and then the Quaker motifs. I think it's just really cool. So I have that, and then I ordered Rachel Needle and Flax. I don't know if she still has any left, but she was doing her orphan linens. If you haven't ordered her orphan linens, you're missing out, because she thinks that they have spots or slubs or whatever. If you can find them, you're a better detective than I am, because I can't find anything wrong. This is the Orphan Light. Let's see. It's not that color. It's about, it's kind of blowing out. But it's a good, and I don't know exactly what they were supposed to be. She doesn't tell you that, so you just go with the color. The next one was a medium, and this is more tan. That's parchment. It's not quite that buttery. It's a little more tan. Fabulous. And at one point, people were saying, well, it's all sold out. Well, she was continually posting more of each one. So if you didn't get it the first time, just check back, because she still may. Although she's snowed in right now in Michigan. Oh my. This was the dark. This is the first time I've ordered an orphan in dark. And it's a beautiful gray. I haven't started the Midnight Stocking yet. I have the Ancient Ruin by Fox and Rabbit. And I have a couple others, but this is also a candidate. So your Midnight Stocking by Teresa Kogut is the one with the Santa and the pipe and the swirling and all that. So, okay, I'm going to take another quick break, and then I'm going to finish. No, I'm going to do one more thing. I also am working on this, which is America 250. This is available through the attic. They said they got over 6,000 orders for this. I can't even imagine. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I was gifted this from a good friend who said she was not going to stitch it and she would be happy to gift it to me. It came with 36 count, what is the name of this? Smoky Quartz by Fiber on a Whim, which it's hard to see, but it's green. And I made a small start. Let's see, like here. And then in watching the attic again, they had somebody, it was either a customer or somebody works there, that decided to do it on more of a tan and more of a neutral, and had finished it, and they showed them back to back. And I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to do it on the tan. So this is a piece of pecan butter, 40 count, Lakeside. And I've mentioned before, I have a lot of Lakeside in my stash because I bought it back before COVID, when people weren't like crazy over Lakeside. So when I saw the two together, I was like, yeah, I definitely. And the blue, let me show you here. The blue behind here shows up so much prettier, I think. Just personal opinion. The Smoky Quartz is gorgeous, and that's what the model is stitched on. But obviously it looks more light here. So anyway, I have this all kitted, and I want to restart it on the tan, which I will do. Hopefully this week I'm going to restart that. I don't know, I may give this away, my start. I want to ask the person that gifted me this, because I don't know. I mean, I could use this for something else, but it is 36, and I don't generally like to stitch on 36. I prefer 40. So anyway, I might give this away if you already have the pattern and everything and would like that little bit of stitching that I started. Okay. I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Carol's WIP Parade Part 3. Most people do a WIP Parade in like one video. Not me. I stretch it out and stretch it out and stretch it out. So anyway, this is the start of WIP Parade Part 3. Now, I think I mentioned before, there's a few seasonal pieces I have not included on this. There's a few. There's Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. There's a couple fall Halloween pieces that I haven't gotten out. So they're kind of not put away, but they're in a different spot with some of my other seasonal WIPs. So I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. And then I have something else I want to talk about. So anyway, okay. The first one, and I started this and then I decided I was going to instead do Winter Moon. This is Spring Moon by Plum Street. I barely have a start. Spring Moon by Plum Street. And this is on the Called For Baked Clay by Fox and Rabbit, which, by the way, I was watching, I think her name's Natalie, Sewing Room Secrets. If you haven't watched her, you need to. She's in England, I think, but she's actually from Ireland. She's delightful to watch. Love her accent. She does fabulous fully finishing. I mean, fabulous. You need to go watch Sewing Room Secrets on FlossTube. And she actually crocheted with floss this tiny little ladybug that she has on one of her spring pin pillows. It is adorable. So cute. She's done a lot of animal crackers. Anyway, she was showing a piece of baked clay that she had received, and she said, oh, it was beautifully pink. This is not pink. It might have a pinkish cast, but it's not pink. So I don't know if the newer dye lots are more pink. I don't know. And all that to say, where's your start, Carol? It's just a little bit on the moon. That's pathetic. 40 count baked clay with the called for flosses. The next one, I don't know if I've shown you this one recently. And this one is in another Buckleberry Quilts bag. This is, what is the line of fabric? American Jane. This is American Jane fabric, which is very primary colors, and I love her fabric. This also has, oh no, that's the chart. Okay, I'm doing this one with Verosois Soie d'Alger, with the exception, one of the, I switched out, and one of the colors, I'm going to use 103 for the wording. Hopefully the 103 is in another place because it's not here. Olivia Pumpkin Hollows, Becky Socks for Mom, Yvette Gonzalez, and Christy Crosshatch. They did this in the last couple of years.
Upside down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Elizabeth Furnace by Hands Across the Sea. This is an older one. Elizabeth Furnace, 1836. By Hands Across the Sea. I have the outer board. I decided to do the red stripe. I don't think they did the red stripe around, but I did. I have lots left to go. I have the flowers on the top. And again, I'm using Soie d'Alger with the exception of a 103 because there's quite a bit of words at the top. And it's that classic, Jesus, permit thy gracious name to stand, and the first efforts of an infant's hand. And as her fingers on the canvas move, engage her tender heart to seek thy love with thy dear children. May she have a part and write thy name upon her heart, upon thy heart. Anyway, sorry, I didn't do a very good job reading this. This one I'm doing on, I think it's an XJU fabric. Hold on just a second and I'll tell you. This is why I put tags with the name of the piece and, yes, XJU. It was part of a monthly club I was in. It's a lighter, I think they used the darker sand dune that it was called for. But this is what I have done. This was so fun. Why I haven't gotten back to this, I don't know. So fun to do those blocks. It's like building a quilt. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I've got to get back to this one because I love this piece. I know, we say that about all of them. I need to get back. I need to get back. But sometimes I do get back. Frequently I get back. I'm back to His Eyes on the Sparrow. So. This is one that Kitten Stitcher did a couple of years ago. And I thought, oh, I want to do that. This is Scarlet Letter, not Scarlet House, but Scarlet Letter. And it's the New England sampler. It's done on 40 count seaweed by Fox and Rabbit, and this bag is handmade by Bella Rose Needle Arts. I'm pretty sure she gifted me this. It came with thread bed and also a little needle book that goes with it that hangs on the... And I'm using the Aversois Soulager. They're mostly greens, with the exception of like a red and a yellow. The New England Sampler by Scarlet Letter. And this is where I am on this one. I'm using 40 count, and I kind of stopped because this large alphabet, the second large alphabet, is all eyelets. And they're tight. But I really like it, and I really would like to have it finished. Especially since originally this was on this Lindsay Woolsey, which was a linen and wool blend from the antique samplers. But this is the seaweed, that's all linen. But I need to, I really want to finish it. Of course, Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Vanette, she finished hers, of course. And she dragged me along with her. But mine's not done. The next one, and this is one that I've seen multiple times. This is a bag I made. This is a French General, I think. I can't remember. I used to not mind the plastic front. I'm not a huge fan. I did have a piece that the pattern transferred onto the back of the plastic, so that's why. But this one I've seen multiple times at Country Sampler. On the wall, there is a thread conversion from Jeannie at Country Sampler, so I'm using that thread conversion. And this one is called Mary Havens, 1836.
37.
Sorry, 1837 again. See, next week I'll get to my 6 through 10, so I'll be able to know these numbers better. Because I said 1836, and it's clearly 1837. See, 1837.
I'm just trying to keep your eyes off of husbands on Amazon by helping you out, so I could be your little helper.
Okay. This is on Weeks Parchment, which is one of my very favorites, especially, well, only if it's the Zweigart base. That's on Weeks Parchment. Mary Bars by Stacy Nash. Anyway, this is where I am. I have the border all the way around. I'm working on these flowers. This piece does have queen stitches, so that'll be... I've done them before. My friend and I have a joke about my queen stitches, and I'll leave it at that. In other words, the first few I did weren't very good, if at all, queen stitches. And so, anyway, Mary Havens. The next one I started with Laurel. I am a stitch nerd. And then she kind of... oh, wow. I have other things in here. I need to get this out. Yes. This is a Plum Street that I want to do, and it's kitted. He's laughing at me. Can you imagine? He's laughing at me. I was kind of looking for this. I need to do this for one of my monthly ones. Anyway. This one is called... See, I have other Plum Streets in here that I want to do. This is one... Oh, I'm not going to get sidetracked. Stop, Carol, stop. Anyway, I'm doing this with Laurel. I am a stitch nerd. See, one of the cookies are in here.
This is like going through the cushions on the couch.
No, this is much more fun than going through the cushions on the couch.
Well, you don't know what's in there.
This is like finding money in the bottom of your drawer. Okay. See, this bag is full of other stuff. This is a cross-stitch Nook bag. I don't know if she's still doing, but I love her bags because they were bigger and then you can put all kinds of stuff in there. Back to the one that I started with, Laurel. Sorry for the diversion.
That's a whole nother episode, that bag right there.
Yeah, that bag's a whole nother episode. This is The Flood by Plum Street. This is a way older chart. Came out in 2011. Does that mean I love it any less? Of course not. I love Plum Street's older charts. There's a number of them. I'm doing this with NPI silk, so that's another reason I need to work on it because, oh, my ring came undone. That's not good. Some of these rings are just not the most. Yeah, that's a really bad one. Anyway, I need to re-put these on here. But lots of good colors, greens or browns. And this is another one, I think. Let me look at my tag. Oh, this is Vintage Exemplar. No, Light Vintage Exemplar. Yeah. Vintage Light Exemplar by Lakeside. This is humongous. I don't have the stitch count right now, but this is how big this one is. Oh, love this. When I finish his eyes on the sparrow, maybe I need to make this one my Sunday stitch. I don't know. So this one comes to here, okay? The other side has 1, 2, 3, about 4 or 5 more. Okay, so see how this extends past the words? This extends past the words. So it's going to be out to about here. About like that. Yeah, it's big. But, oh, it's so fun. So fun. Love this. And I found this one. Did I even show you what that is? Here I'm going on and on about it. Freedom Pin Roll. And this was kitted. Oh, I need it. It's a disease. The next one, I think I have at least 3 or 4 pieces that are that Tara Sully Stitches is responsible for. This is one of them. She started this a couple of years ago after market. Vibrant Flowers by Kathy Barrick. And I love both pieces. There's a pin pillow and then there's the big one. I'm sure that hers, Tara's, is framed. Because what's the saying? She doesn't let grass grow under her feet. What's that saying? Like if you do something quickly. No grass grows under her feet. Is that it? I'll go back to practicing my counting. Sorry. Anyway, it's Vibrant Flowers. Here's my measly little start. I'm using NPIs. This is on, I think it's Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax. There's no reason not to get back to this. 40 count, maybe 46. Yeah, it's 46. I thought it was 46 because the X's are pretty teeny tiny. And I need to get back to it because that's a pretty big chunk of linen. I mean, that's a fat quarter that I could cut down. And this one is in a Michelle Davis. She was one of the gals in our upstairs country sampler, and she gave these to us. Each of us got and upstairs, let me finish a thought. At Stitch Camp, she's one of the gals that stayed upstairs in the apartment during Stitch Camp, and she gave each of us that stayed up there a project bag. And it also has a cute little key And the print matches. I mean, what's in here matches the print of the on the fabric. Okay, this one's a dilemma. This has been a dilemma for many years. And I was gifted this chart, so I have no reason not to finish it. This is a working copy that I made. This is a plantation sampler. My problem is the house. I decided to do this on a dark fabric, which is 36 count vintage beeswax by R&R. I have a lot of this finished. But I got to the house and I was like, oh, maybe it shows up better than I thought. I should just finish it and go with it. It's pretty, but beeswax is pretty dark. This was the called for on that My Home Sweet Home that I showed you at the very beginning. That was one of my finishes, was vintage beeswax. It's pretty dark. Now, there's nothing wrong with dark fabric. I love dark fabric. And you would think a light thread would show up on it. Anyway, I'm using a combination NPIs, DMCs. I'm using a bunch of different things that I'm not sure. But I need to finish it. This is a bag that I made, blackbird fabric. I guess I was in my let's make a big bag. This is by Canterbury Designs. The next one is a Shakespeare's Peddler. Now I'm getting to the ones I haven't really worked on very much. So this is Maria Finney, 1832, Adam and Eve's House. But I've seen this finished and I love it. But another situation where we have darker fabrics. It's also on Weeks, but it is, no, it's the old Weeks. Not old, but whatever. It's the non-Zweigart. I was corrected about that a couple times, and so I'm sensitive to that. And it goes like this. Here it is. Now, one of my favorite samplers by Lottie Da, which is Eliza Mitchell, I'm looking at it now back there. It's on the non-Zweigart, and I love it. It's one of my favorites.
You want to get it?
No, that's all right. So I just need to finish this.
So we need to ask them to help us find your grass growing saying.
Oh, yeah.
Because I tried to find it, and the only one that I could find was, "May you live to see the green grass growing over your grave."
Not bad. Okay, so these are the threads for this one. Maria Finney by Shakespeare's Peddler. And this is a multiple bag also, but I haven't started this. This is Mercy Goodheart. This is, if you ever go to Silver Needle, at least they used to have this model there. I love this. It's not a reproduction. Mercy Goodheart. Now, I haven't started that one, so it's not a WIP. I also have this one in here, which is Sarah Woodham. I think this is the one that Nicole from Nicole's Needlework has on her wall framed. So these three are in here. They're all Shakespeare's Peddler, but only Maria Finney is actually a WIP. Okay. A few more. This one is Alice Clark, 1844 by Cross Stitch Antiques. Also called I Had a Father, Kind and True. This one looks like it's on parchment. And this one I'm using the, let's see. I'm not sure what I don't have a ring because I'm using the 103 spools. My friend Patty made me this bag set. Pretty blackbird fabric. Let's see what the called for, because I think I probably am using the called for. No, I'm using 46 count Old Sheep by XJU. I had a post-it note in there. And this one goes like this. It's another one that's huge, huge. But this fabric's a delight to work on. The XJU design. Her fabrics are wonderful. She's in Hungary. She has an Etsy shop. You can order from her directly if you want. The next one I've showed you multiple times. I haven't done much on this. I don't think I'll scrap it because I've seen it finished and it's gorgeous. It's Elizabeth Masterton, 1838. And this one, I'm using also NPIs. And I'm doing it on, it's by the Scarlet Letter, like 40 count Lakeside Fawn. And maybe this is why I haven't gone very far. The fawn is very kind of gray brown, but I think it's going to be gorgeous. I just need to work on it. I don't have very much done on this at all. It's certainly not a WIP in progress. But if you'll see, there's reds, there's pretty yellows, there's prettier greens. So the pattern looks like it's kind of and this is 40 count. The pattern looks like it's all browns, but it's not all browns. This is a project bag I made. Oh, we're at the last one. This one I started leap year. This was my 2020, when was it? Leap year 2024. So I have till 2028 to finish this one. This is the Portuguese Bird Sampler by Barbara Anna. It's also in a bag I made. Chickens. And it's all DMC. Carol from Sampler Farm on Instagram has finished this, and that's one of the reasons I was like, oh, I need to do that. And this is where I am. This looks like this is, yeah, this is on Lakeside Exemplar. Let's see if I'm right. Vintage Exemplar, 46 count. Like I said, it was one day of stitching, February 29th, 2024. So I have till 2020. Let's see, how old will I be then? I don't know. Older than I need to be. No.
You might have your Amazon husband by then.
I hope not. He's going to be expensive. That's all I have. What's this one? Oh yeah, the flood. That's the one the ring came apart. So I just want to say thank you for so many people that watch my videos. I sound kind of amazed because I really am. When I first started this, I had no idea. I just wanted to come on here, partly for my kids. You know, someday when I'm gone, they were like, my grandkids would say, well, what was Grammy really like? Well, let's just play one of her videos. Anyway, that was part of it. Also to document my stitching. I think that's important for us to do. To document if we get a new husband from Amazon. Anyway,
you should have shown me these before.
Yeah. So anyway, I am just truly thankful. And I recently started Buy Me a Coffee. Some people are offended by that. I'm sorry. It's totally optional. If you would like to buy me a coffee, there'll be a QR code that Mr. Saltbox will put in. But I just want to thank everybody that has bought me a coffee. And one of the things that what I hope to do with it is to buy things to enhance the videoing. So if you notice, I have a microphone on here, which is one of the things we have purchased with some of the funds from Buy Me a Coffee, so that when I mumble, you'll be able to all hear what I'm mumbling or when I'm talking to myself. I guess I should wear it around the house all the time, right?
What'd you say?
Silly guy. Anyway, so I just want to thank everyone. I've had a lot of people buy me a coffee, so I'm not going to name individuals, but if you have done that and support my channel, I really, really appreciate it, more than you know. Thoughts and prayers go out to the people who are snowed in because of the huge snowstorm. So I'm not sure when I'll be back, but until then, I hope y'all are well and get lots of stitching done. Love you. Bye.